So I want to welcome everyone to FMTrain.tv. Mark Johnson's there. Welcome, Mark. Lynn from Austin's there. If you folks have any questions, concerns, or ideas. Also, lastly, JavaScript 101 for beginners, a very intensive course. So what's going to happen, Nick? I don't know if Nick has heard this yet. We're replacing Nick. No, did I say that? That's a joke. What we're going to do is we're going to be doing a split kind of schedule starting the latter part of January, where we'll be doing half Nick and half JavaScript or something that looks like that or whatever. And the idea is that we're going to be doing some basic JavaScript training that will kind of augment against the Nick Hunter side of the operation, right? Because Nick carries a lot of the water here, as you know, right? But if we want to do basic JavaScript training, not like Kyle Williams JavaScript training, that's too advanced. We're starting at the beginning. So this is going to be JavaScript 101 for the beginning, and then we're going to progress. And it'll be many, many days of this stuff. So I'm working this out. We're getting this finalized with the presenter, the teacher of that material. And we will, in fact, I have a meeting in a couple minutes to discuss that with that person. So that's very exciting, right? Yes, yes. Nick, are you excited? You have someone else to help carry the load of the, there we go.
Yes, that would be good.
Fake that smile, Nick.
No.
Hey, Nick, are you there?
Yeah. I'm not faking. Oh,
you're not faking it?
No, I'm not faking anything.
Okay, you're not faking it. Okay, good.
No.
Nick, are you ready to go? You good?
Yes, I am. So yeah, so thank you very much. So today, so what I want to say is that we are going to share that document that I wrote, like several years ago, but still, up to date. And here I explain everything about the naming convention. So it's a coding standard for the naming. So I wrote that, so you have all, everything that you need to know. Everything is there. So explain the field, the table, the occurrence, I put examples, and so how you name relationship, like how you name layout scripts, and how you present things and how you do things. So everything is there. So I'm putting many examples, many things. I'm talking about every single aspect of it, of how to name things, and the coding convention, what you shouldn't do, what you should do. Anyway, so I have good things here that you can use. You can read this and use as a starting point, right? So we're going to share that document at the end. So I'm going to send to you, Marge, anyway. So yesterday we started this, and we were starting, naming tables and naming fields and stuff like that. So you got the point. I'm not going to explain how to name everything, but pretty much you have good rules, and but I'm going to demonstrate why we need to use that technique to use. But today we are going to continue a little bit more, and I'm going to talk about the occurrence now. Okay. So the occurrence is very important because we have a new way of typing things. It's some time now since FileMaker 12, but we can type over, and then we have things coming up, right? So based on these new things, right? So that when the FileMaker introduced that in FileMaker 12 in 2011 or 2012, everything changed. Okay. So that's why I was saying yesterday that naming occurrence, naming them HHG, and naming them ENV dash 99 like this, doing things like this. That was good. That was good at the time where we didn't have the type over in the calculation dialog, right? So, and that's why it's no longer necessary to use abbreviation on every single thing you type, right? So let's start with the occurrence a little bit. So we learned that we need to keep those occurrence that with the same name as a table. But by the way, when you create a table, automatically, right? Automatically, when you create a table, it creates a join in a relationship map. It creates an occurrence with that name. So each time you name a table, right, you will get the occurrence, and that occurrence, you need to keep it completely unrelated, untouched, as is, right, for further use, right? But you need to keep them without any relationship. So now let's say I'm going to start with the accounts, right? So first we create a world, that's my world. We create a world, we put a color, and right, so we have a world, and we are going to create the anchor, because we are going to use the anchor buoy kind of schema, okay, versus the spider web. You know, if you don't know what I'm talking about, in that document, I'm explaining with a great example. Okay, that's a spider web, and that anchor buoy. So you understand immediately why this is bad and why this is good, right? So because it's clean and this is the mess. Okay, so, and don't forget that the spider web kind of relationship map, the schema, were good at the time where we had in FileMaker 7, right? Because this is when they introduced the map. When in FileMaker 7, we had like 3 tables and, and 10 fields and stuff like that. That was good. But now we no longer we cannot use that schema technique. So let's start. So this will be the anchor attached to the main table, right? And then I'm going to start and going to name this T01, that's the first, right? And then I'm putting the underscore, and in capital, right, I'm saying accounts. Oops, accounts. I don't know. Accounts, okay. So I'm putting the word account in capital letter. This is in capital letter. So, and I'm going to explain that why when I will build up things, right? So now we say accounts, for example, and we want to link this to another table, right? That is contact, for example, or projects. I want to link this to projects, right? So first of all, do I have in project, do I have the IDF? No, I don't. So let's create the IDF accounts. Okay. So now I want to link this. So I have many ways to do that. I can take the project and hit the Alt key and drag it, that will duplicate. Or I can go there and say, click here, see the plus here, and say I want a new one with projects. It's up to you. It's up to you, you know. I like to do this, you know, duplicate, and then I have mine. So here, this is going to project, right? So how am I going to name this? This is the first occurrence of that anchor buoy construction. So I'm saying, oh, this will be the T01A underscore is coming from accounts underscore, and I'm going to projects. Right? This is my relationship. Okay? It's on the T01 world. It's the A because that's the first. It comes from the table accounts and it goes to the table projects. Okay? Then I'm putting 2 pipes, and then I'm going to use the name of the fields that is in the key, in the relationship key. But I'm going to put the key that is on the target. So the key on the target is IDF accounts. This is the name of the field that I'm going to use in the relationship as a key on the target's occurrence. And then I'm terminating with the pipe. 2 pipe, 1 pipe at the end. Okay? Boom. So now I have this occurrence and I can start linking it. ID account with the IDF accounts. So you see here, I know that the field here will be IDF accounts. right? So this is how I'm doing it. So let's say now I want to do the same with the contacts, for example. Okay. So what I'm doing to help me naming things like this, I take this, I press Alt, and I duplicate this, right? And then I say, okay, this is the B. It's going to accounts, and it's going to contacts. What do I have today? And I'm still using the same IDF accounts. It's the same. It's the same, right? So that's why when you duplicate, I change the B, I change project to contact, and yeah. Because I'm using consistency in my naming. The IDF accounts is the same foreign key in the project table and the contact table. I'm using the same name. So I don't have to take care of this. And of course, I change the source of the occurrence. I'm putting contact because now in contact. And then I can link it, right? Account with account, right? Okay. So now I want to continue, right? Let's go to invoice and do the same. So I drag down and I say, okay, this is the C goes to invoices, same ID accounts, and go to invoice. Boom. And I can do the linkage. So you see, using consistency, and you can drag and duplicate things like this, right? But now, right? So now I can do the same for second world. And of course, here, I forget about it. I'm putting this here, the name of the anchor. I'm putting here, I'm doing space, paste, 24, and I'm using courrier new, right? Or you can use, I don't know, 36 is a little, 36 is good, right? I explained to you why. It's because when you zoom out, you cannot read this, but you know this is on T01, okay? So now I have this world. Let's build another one, right? So here what I'm doing, because maybe you don't know that. I'm selecting this, and this, Alt, I take this out and I duplicate that world. I'm just duplicating this. So now I have a second world. This is my project. Or my contacts. So I'm going to, and I'm saying contacts, right? I'm changing the color to have a differentiation. Let's put a color different. And I can even do this. Sometime I'm doing this, right? See, black here, white here. And I'm saying, okay, this anchor is no longer accounts, it's contacts, and it's going to contact. You see, duplicating helps you avoid to type a lot of things, right? And it avoids also mistakes and typos or whatever, right? And you say this is the T02A is not going to from account, is coming from contacts, and is going to projects, right? With the ID F contacts, right? So I don't know if I have it in my project table. No. So you see, I can duplicate this, change this, and say contacts. That's it. So now I have IDF contact here. So here now, I can go there and say it's contact with contact, and you change it, right? So you see, you avoid many redoing things, right? And then we can apply the same thing. I can go there, right? And I want to go to accounts with the ID accounts. So here I'm changing because I'm coming from the contacts, but the primary key will be the foreign key of the contact table to go to the primary key. That's why this is named ID accounts and no IDF, because I'm coming from the IDF, but I'm pointing to the ID accounts, right? Right? And I don't know if I have it here. We can do the same for invoices, right? So you did this. Oh, by the way, this is B. And this will be C, right? And go to invoices. Invoices with the IDF contacts. And I'm going to invoice. So now I can link this and I say, this is from contact to contact. So you see now, pretty much, I don't need to open that guy to know what's going on. I know what's going on. The name of the field, the name of the occurrence is giving me all the information I need. It's coming from contact to project and is linked with the target key of the IDF contact. Same here, from contacts to accounts, and is linked with the IDF account, from contact to invoice. Okay. So this is how you name your occurrences. Okay. So why we do this? I'm showing you. You go there, and you go there. And you say, okay, I want to link this with the TO2, and boom. You type TO2, and you have your world. The world of the contacts is there. And you have only the world of contacts. If I say 201, I have the account world. And this will show you the representation of this world. So just if you don't use this, if you say contacts, let's say we say contacts, you don't have the world. It's mismatched. I have the contact main table. I have the contact, the ID, the foreign key of contacts. I have the TO2. I have TO1. I don't have the world. I don't have, TO2. I have the world and nothing else, right? So this is why it's important, this, right? So now, let me show you something else, okay? Let's say we have options here, okay? We have options. So, and what are the options here? We can create, delete, and solve. Let's say with that relationship, I want to create with that relationship. Okay, so with that relationship, I go there, I add a pipe because I have another argument, okay? I have another argument, and I'm saying creation. So now I know that with that relationship, I'm doing creation. So I know people said, oh, each time I'm doing creation, I'm putting red. Okay, cool. But there's no way you can get the red color here, saying, okay, 202, tier 1, right? Tier 1. And here I know that the tier 1B is going to do a creation. I know it. This will give me the information that this link is going to create, right? So by the same token, and you can put colors and whatever, you have no information on this, right? So now let's say with this link, right, I want to delete, right? This link is deleting. I know it. So let's say now, let's go further. And you say, okay, this link here is creating, deleting, and sorting by city, right? Or by name. Because sometimes it is important to last name, first name, right? Okay. So I have a sort now. Here I have the three selected. So creation, delete, sort. Right? So now, look at this. T01. I know this one is creation, delete, right? I know it. This one deletes. So I have the information in the name. In the relationship, I have the information of the name. T01B, account to contact by the IDF account field, is doing creation, is deleting, and sort. Right? So why it is important, those information are not really relevant here, kind of, because for example, it could be interesting to say, oh yeah, that the link that sorts, because sometimes you want that to be sorted, right? But the most important is when you create here. Oh, I'm not in the right thing. Is when you create a table, a portal. When you create a portal, it is important to know which one is creation. The creation will be much more important on the portal, right? But when you select the name later, when I'm going to do that, right? I'm going to show you. So, do we have any questions?
Yes, we've got several. Let's do the first one from Ruben. How would you add the TO of invoice items? You make the anchor buoy a third level deep?
Yes. It depends. I tend not to do this, but it depends on how you want to do that. Because normally you don't need. Let me explain. So let's go there if you want. So let's create this, right? And this is the beauty of anchor buoy. Okay. So I'm here and I want to create the TO3 invoice. Okay. Okay. And so I can just copy this because I just created invoices and I'm going there. So this is my buoy. So, and I can take this, duplicate it, and say this is the TO3A, is going from invoices to invoice items with the IDF invoice. And we can say create, and we can say creation, delete, right? No sort. So now I can say, oh, by the way, here. So now I can say invoice, right? So I have my buoy. I don't need a third level. So if you here, right? So this is the case scenario, the most, this, I will have a portal directly. I have an invoice and I'm doing this. Now, if I want to show invoice here from the contacts, I just do this, but I have it. So if I want to show the items of invoice, I will have what I call a master detail, right? I will do a master detail. And then with the master detail, you don't need a third level. But let me answer the other question, and I'm going back to the master detail.
Okay. We got one from Dimok. Before you build your relationship, do you draw a diagram on paper or Keynote?
No, I'm using FileMaker, and with the anchor buoy, you don't need that, right? Because you know all your main layout will have an anchor. So you put your anchor, you say, okay, I need account, I need the contacts, I need invoices, I need project, I need product, I need. So you put your main, like this, and then you build your anchor buoy, right? So, but this is a more relationship architecture matter. So if you want, we can do that. We can do a webinar, 3 days on relationship architecture. This webinar wasn't there. Is not the purpose of that webinar. It was more about organizational, how to get the file, right? So how to organize the file. So that's a lot of things you can do on the relationship. The relationship in FileMaker is by far the most advanced, is the most powerful tool you can ever use in FileMaker. So I'm transferring many people. What they do, they don't do a relationship. What they use scripts, they use triggers, they use SQL, they use because they don't want to have, because they don't want, or they don't know how to use relationship. When you know how to use relationship, you will never use a SQL statement in your entire life. But or do a scripting, crazy scripting, go there, come back, go there, come back. No, you don't need that. The relationship is much more powerful than what you think. So I'm going to have a kind of a 2 weeks of relationship because we need at least that. Okay. So I'm going to come back on this. Okay. So next question.
Next question is from William Wood. If I am using a file without the underscore before the ID or IDFK, can I change the field name without causing trouble?
Yes, you can. Normally, if you change the name of the field and you have a trouble, it's because you have like a Java or whatever things. So you need to think about this. If you have a Java, and even though if you have a Java API or Java code in your FileMaker file, you break something by changing the name, that means you have a bad implementation of your Java. Because normally you can change the name of field without breaking anything, even on your SQL statement as well. But FileMaker will never break anything because you change the name. Never, it will never break. So you can put that. You can go in your file and change this in a way, quite tranquilo, because without fear. But if you have a Java implementation or if you have a SQL stuff, you need to check that before. Okay. So next question.
What about relationships that use multiple fields?
Okay, so that's how I'm going to say.
Okay, cool.
So let's say we have multiple fields, so we have multi-predicate. That's how we call that, when we have multi-predicates. Okay. So let's say I want, in my contacts, I want only the active, because I have the tag active here. I want only the active invoices here, my contact. Here, I want only the active one. Okay. So in my contact here, I have the ID constant here. You remember ID constant? That normally should be a global field. So you have the ID constant. ID constant is where you're going to put a 1 in permanence. So you go to the contact here and you say here, the ID constant here, okay, you put a 1. And it's a global. So all the record, we have 1, okay? On the file on the server, you need a script at the beginning that put 1 here, right? I will show you that. But for now, let's focus on this. So now here, I will have 2 fields, the constants that go with the tag active. So this will have 1 only, and this will have sometime 1, sometime not. If it's not active, you don't have 1. So it will select for that contact only the active, right? So now I have 2 fields. right? So this is how you do. You go there at the end of this, and you put this character, right? So you put this character, and here you say, you add additional information, you know? So in your name, you put the name like this, and then you can put like, you know, multiple additional info, and you say this is active. So this link will go from contact to invoices by the foreign key contact. There's many fields there. There's not only one, there's many, but I put on top the main one. The main one, you understand, the main one is not this. The main one is this, that's the main relationship. And then I have an additional, right, that filter more. But the main is this. So I put the main relationship, the one that is more relevant to me to select, to choose between all my relationship. That will be the information I need to see. But at the same time, I'm giving another extra additional information. Say, okay, yes, but that's only the active one, only active, okay? By the same token, I can do this, duplicate, call it D, and say inactive. So that will be exactly the same relationship. Contact with contact, right? Constant with tag active. But here, I'm saying non-active. I'm reversing. That's why the relationships are so freaking powerful. So now I know. Now I know. In my naming, if I go there and I type TO2, okay, that's the active one, that is the inactive one. I know invoice by the ID contact, active, inactive, right? So you can put there extra additional information. And I could have this, you know, like active sort. I can do this. I can say, yeah, that the active, but they are sorted by date. Okay. So now I know. If I go there, my name is giving me all the information, TO2, boom, boom, active and sorted. Okay. You use this, right? So the name is helping you. The TO2, now you understand it. So now let's go further a little bit, and then we're going to answer questions. Let's say now, right? I want from contact here, the project here, right? But from the projects, I want an extra additional, you know, I want all the invoices attached to that project, right? Here, right? So we can have a third level, right? So I want the project here, but I want a relationship from invoices. I want all the invoices attached to that project. So normally in invoice, I should have a IDF projects, okay? And now I can do this. I'm from contacts in projects. I want all the invoices. So I'm duplicating this one because it's pointing to projects. It's pointing to invoice, right? And I'm renaming it. So it's TO2A1. A1 is coming from projects. It's going to invoice, right, by the IDF projects. So now I can do this. Boom, boom, project. So now I can have an additional one, right, that I'm going to call T02A2. And then I want to go, for example, to accounts, right? Also, but here I want to go with the ID accounts. So I want to link I want the projects from the project to the accounts with the ID accounts. Right? So I'm not saying that my relationship are making sense, okay? Just I'm showing you the naming, how the naming works. So why this? Because when you go back to this, and now you said TO2, look what you have. Oh, okay. I have my world. I have the TO2A, that's the main one. Behind the TO2A, I have two other. I have the TO2A1 and A2. So this is coming. So you can see in the list, you can project what happened on your relationship graph without going, without to be there. You can see this here is there. TO2 is there. So if you want this, it's behind TO2A, right? You understand that? So now you understand the power of this, okay? Because if I have other relationship, let's say I have the same thing from here, from contact, I'm a D here, and I want to go to account here. So here I can say TO2 D1. I'm coming from invoices. I'm going to account with the ID accounts. So now I can link this accounts. So now if I go back to this and I said TO2, boom, I know the A I have 2 behind and the D I have 1 behind. You see it. If you don't use that, so now you understand, if you don't use that naming convention, you're killing yourself voluntarily. That means you want to live hard, you want to live very hard, because you cannot do and more. Look this. Sometimes you can have T02, A1, A2, A3, A4, so you have a lot of things. So okay, no problem, boom. I have only the TO2A world, and I can concentrate on this, right? You can do that. You can, right? So if you don't use that naming system here with the TO2, A, B, C, D, and A1, A2, D1, D2, D3, if you don't use that, you are missing a big tool that will help you every single day in your life, right? So questions?
So the second level of relationship you use for relookup or condition value lists.
Exactly. So when, let's say, I'm never say never, okay. But I avoid, that's why in that documents I'm using terminology very carefully, right? Prefer, always, never, avoid, try. Okay, so that means nothing is like never do this, never do that. No, avoid, prefer that. It doesn't work, try something else, but prefer that. Always, that means, okay, always. Like, for example, always used TO something, TO21, TO28, A, B, C, D. Always use this, but avoid to show in the layouts that will be attached here. Avoid to show that. Avoid. Okay? I really use that carefully. But always I'm saying this. Sometime I'm showing a portal from here. I'm showing a portal that is pointing to that what's the name? To that relationship. I'm doing it. But when I'm doing it, I'm doing it when I know the portal will return 10 records, 15, 30, right? 30 records at the most. So when I know the relationship is not going to show me a huge, large amount of records, I'm doing it. Because it's 10 records, 15 records, FileMaker will handle that like this. If you have 1 million record, no, because you will have the spinning, like the spinning disc like this, the spinning, the new portal spinning, you have it for 10 minutes. So you don't want that, right? You don't want that. So that's why I say avoid, to do that. But yes, we use this most of the time. I'm using this because when I'm here, I have, for example, I have an auto entry calculation that will come here, or I have a relookup in that field, in that table. I have a relookup that will use this. But there's a much better technique to do that than to use that technique here. That technique is a technique of a lazy guy, because we have another technique much better than this, right? Still using relationship, right? But I will show you that in the webinar that I'm going to that will be my next, in two webinars, that will be the third webinar that I'm going to do from now. I'm going to have 2 weeks on relationship and only relationships. And I'm going to show you things that I'm swear God. Let me show you some. Okay, at the end of this, I'm going to show you a sneak peek. So let's continue. Do we have another question right quick?
Yes. Sometimes Nick uses IDF account, other times he uses ID account? ?
Yeah, because here, for example, in that example here, I'm coming from here. I want from the record with the foreign key of the accounts, because this is not a primary key; it's a foreign key. Primary key is context. So that's a foreign key of accounts. I want the foreign key of the accounts, and I link this to the primary key of that table, because in that table, the account table, that is the primary key for that account, for that table. But for that table, that is a foreign key. So I'm pointing to the ID accounts in that case, because I'm pointing to the master, to the owner of the key, right? You understand? That here is account. So that is an ID account. It's not a foreign key anymore. It is a foreign key. It is a foreign key for that relationship, right? But this is the foreign key pointing to the parent key. The parent key of that relationship will be this one, not this one. But it's a matter of terminology, okay? But here, the point is, when you name your thing, you need to name what they are, not what they do. I don't care what they do. I don't care what this is doing. I have no idea what this is doing. I know what it is. It is from contact to accounts, and the key I'm using for the relationship is ID account, period. I don't care what that is doing. I know what it is. And that's what is important. Name what it is, because by naming what it is, you can recognize. I don't care for example, if you have a hammer, I don't want to know, right, that this is a tool that you can use to destroy a wall. No, I want to know it's a wood stick with a heavy piece of iron on the tip. That's what I need to know, because if I tell you, right, this is a tool to destroy a wall. Okay, so I have I have the electric, like how you name the percussion stuff, right? So no, but if you don't know, it's a hammer. It can be many things. But if I tell you it's a piece of wood like 10-inch long or 20-inch long or 30-inch long with a heavy piece of iron on the tip, Oh, okay, that's a hammer, right? So this is exactly the same thing here. Exactly the same thing here. So other question? We named this.
Never mind.
Right?
One popped up real quick.
Okay.
What are the QB_name fields for?
Oh, QuickBook. When you have QuickBook. Oh, by the way, good question. Thank you. Let's say you have many QuickBooks. You have QuickBook status. You have QuickBook due date status summary. So you have all those. Those are the field for QuickBooks. And I'm here, right? And I want my QuickBook. Let's say I have 200 fields, and I want my QuickBook fields. Okay, they're all there. That QuickBook, because QB underscore that QuickBook. It's the same for, let's say I have many tags, you know. I have tag active, I have tag inactive, I have tag new, you know, I have tag to be deleted, and I have tag overdue. Okay, so I have many tags. So I'm here. Oh, I want my tags. No problems. That's your tags. They're all there. Okay. What kind of list of? No, not list of. I want the total. Let's say I have a total here. Oh, in item. So I have the total of total. Okay. And I have also the total of quantity. Okay. So I have two. I have the total of quantity, and you know, I have all the quantities, and I have two totals. I'm here. Let's say you have many, right? And I want my total of. I have all my total. That's all my total of, right? So let's say now I want, for example, a list of invoice IDs, right? Because this is how you name it. It's the list of invoice IDs. By definition, it's a list, so you will have many. So that is an indication that you give yourself, say, okay, yes, that will return me many. So I put the S, okay? So it's a list of invoice. And then I can duplicate this, and I say, okay, invoice item IDs, right? Change. So I have two now. I want the list of this, right? And then I'm going there, and I say, oh, by the way, I want my list of underscore. Boom, they're all there, you know? And you want your total of, okay? Total of, boom, they're all there, right? So that is how you help yourself naming things, right? So I'm going to switch to for 2 minutes here to switch to something else, okay? Now that I have those main table here, main table, you know, I have my main anchors, main anchors. Okay? I can finally get there and start working on this, right? On the layouts. Those layouts, I'm not going to touch them. What I'm going to do, I'm starting creating folders. First, remember, we have accounts. In accounts, I have another folder. That's what you need. You need the tables. You need the cards. You need the context. That is for accounts. You duplicate this. See, you duplicate this. So you close this, you duplicate, and you change this. Now that is for contacts. You duplicate And now this is for invoices. Remember, I have three anchor buoys. I have accounts, contacts, invoices. Account, contact, invoices. All of them has this. Here, in this one, in the first one, I'm putting on the table. This will be on the table. That is the table view of my accounts, right? I'm going to do the same for contacts, and I'm going to do the same for invoices. But invoices, I have two tables. I have the invoices and I have the invoice items, right? So here you have a very nice construction, right? So you can add a separator if you want, okay? And you can duplicate the separator, put the separator here. So now you have a nice thing. So those we are going to deal that later. But why this is good? Accounts, invoices. Accounts, boom. Contact, boom. Invoice, boom. So you can navigate easily. So now I can do and create new computer using the TO1 is the form view, is the data entry. And there where you go. We are in a 01 account, 01. You say L01, right? L01, 1, underscore, accounts, data entry. Right? It's the T011. Now you can do this here, new, and we are in the TO2. So now you see why we need this to be capital letters? Because here you can see, you can identify them very easily. Accounts, contact, invoices, and also they are small. This is large. This will always be large. Always be large because you have the TO1A, account, project, IDF account, blah, 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 creation, delete, sort. But here is one word. 1 word, 2 words, right? 1 word, 2 words. No more. Or 3 if you are crazy. But the name of the table need to be small, right? And for that reason, because you can identify them very easily, right? So this is, of course, L021, okay? And you say it's the contacts data entry, right? And here you create a new one on the third, L031, and you say invoices data entry. So now that I have this, right? First of all, how it looks like here. Okay, so let's go there. How it looks. Accounts, that's about data entry. I have my tables. Contact data entry table, invoice data entry table. So, right? So we have this. So now we see here T01, T02, T03, but we have the name, the L for layouts, T for table, L03, okay. So now that we have this, okay, we can continue. So this obviously is a data entry, but now I can have another layout here, new, it's on the TO1, it's L012, right? And it's the accounts list view, right? It's a list view. The same here, new, computer list view, we go to a contact, L022, right? And it's the contacts list view. Same here, boom, new, 03, L032, right? Invoices, list, view. So why we do this, okay? Same for the same reason, list view. So now let's say I'm going there because this layout, what's the name? This window, nobody's using it, and I'm there. It's always open to me because we can keep it open and continue to do the go layout mode and stuff like that. Here we cannot. We need to go back, right? So why okay, I don't know, I want all my L02. Okay, L02. Okay, they're all there. All 02, they are. I want all 03. Okay, they are all there. 01. Okay, they're here. L01, that will be, and I have 1, 2, 3. So now you understand how it works. That you say yes, but here I have a sub layout, sub list on here. You know, I have a sub list, right, on the account here that goes to, so it's L01A, okay, or 012A. So you understand. So that would be the, okay, that would be the B, sorry, because this is, for example, sorted list view. Okay, so you can say that. So so what's it? Okay, accounts. I'm making out, right? So it's here, and this we can say, yeah, but this is A. This is they're all list views. They're both list view, right? By the way, I'm not doing this. I'm doing this. Accounts list view sorted. Account list view filtered. Account list view whatever. So you have additional layouts like this, right? So, and then you can put a separator here. So now look how it looks when you work on this. So you understand, you help yourself with the names. You help yourself a lot to organize your things, okay? Because let's say, I know because I see the time running, right? So let's say I have the same here. So here, I have the A, right? And I'm creating a new one, right? It's a list view. So it's L022B, and it's the, what's the name? Contacts list view, also sorted. Okay. And I have the same here. So I have the A here, okay? And I can duplicate this and say this is the B, right? It's the list view and sorted. So now, and I can put a separator here and a separator here because I like to get my thing grouped together like this. So why I'm doing this? This is why. So A, B, A, B, A, B, and now, oh, I want everything sorted. Where is my, okay, all of those are sorted. Chung. It's easy, right? So, oh, I want my list view. List view. Boom, I have all my list view. Okay. So, but also I have all L01. Okay, all your L01. List view, not list view, whatever, right? So L02, L03, right? So when you have a lot of things, right? When you have a lot of layouts related to the same tables and stuff like that, this is the best organization, right? It's the best organization. So I'm going to continue tomorrow on this because, not tomorrow, in 2 weeks, right? So you understand the number, the group of letters, when they belong together. When you have a cluster that belongs together, you say A, B, C, D, because that helps you to record, and you can play like this. Oh, okay, I want all my A underscore. Okay, they're all there, right? They're all there. So you can play with the search because we don't have a lot of opportunities, right, to retrieve information. We don't. We have only this fields here, right? So when you have something, I think you will start using that differently. But before we go to the questions, you understand that you have this, okay? So in accounts, I have all my main, where I have all the main entries, the main layouts, right? And here I have my table, my virgin table, the table that I can use to check if everything okay, right? Normally this should be a list view, a table view. So that's the table view, right? Then you have all the Carl star windows, and then you have all the contexts. What the context? Before we go explain what a context. It's a table, it's a virgin table attached to the main anchor. It's a table view. Go to T01 accounts, not to ACC accounts. That's a big, huge difference, because in this one, many things won't work because you are not in the right context, right? You're not in the right context. Sometimes you might have a pieces or scripts that need to go to the T01 context, but you don't want to go there because there maybe you will have a on record load, on commit, on layout enter. You have a trigger, and you have a big layout with a lot of objects. No. You want to go to the same occurrence, but you want something simple like this. No triggers, nothing. But because you need to go to the context, right? You need to go to the context, but you don't want the heaviness of going to the main data entry or a list view. No, you don't want to go there. You want to go to a very lightweight layouts, but attached to the context. And you can have many contexts. You can say, yes, but my script needs to land on T01C account invoice. Okay. So you said, I want a table that go to T01C, right? Accounts, invoices. It's a computer table. And you want to go there. I need a layout because I need a script, a piece or whatever. I need to land there to do, let's say, replace or to do delete or whatever. And then, but I don't want, I just need a layout for go there, do something, and ciao, and bye, right? So you create your context here, but they are separated. So you know the table, you know the card, you know the context, right? So you have a really, really good organization, because now you can go there, right? And you say, okay, that's my table, that's my context. Okay, I can go to the context and see, right? So you have a great organization, right? And the name is helping you, right? And I'm not talking about when you start using this, and you go to layout, and here you're there, right? And you say, yeah, I want to go to L012A. So you when you have a lot of layouts, right? You use this, and then boom, you're there, right? You have your script doing it, right? So if you have a quick question, we can go. Otherwise, one or two questions.
Let's do the one from David Angel. If the due date is updated from a layout with a related table, QB due date will be auto-updated?
Yeah, I'm not going to answer that because it's not relevant to the theme of today. It's more relationship question. So we're going to do that on the webinar. Keep the question, and on the webinar, we're going to shoot about relationship, I'm going to answer that question about auto entries and stuff like that. I might do 3 weeks, by the way, because I can combine auto entries and tricks and techniques and rules and relationship, and I can go further. So maybe I will do 3 weeks.
That would be a good, yeah, that would be a good.
Yeah.
With
Next
that
question.
being said, that's pretty much it.
Okay, so yeah, sorry, David and Joe. It's not because here you understood that nothing will work, nothing of what I build work. Okay, we very funky result. It was just for demonstration how to name, how to place, how to organize. It was an organization like a webinar, okay, and especially the naming and stuff like that. So I wanted to finish the layouts today. I'm going to do the next day. I'm going to finish the layout stuff, and I'm going to go to the scripting and to the relation and to the value list. Yeah, the relation. Yeah, we're going to do 3 weeks, and I'm going to speed everything. I'm going to explain everything. So no, it's look, it's incredible how the relationship is underestimated and ignore, and people don't know half of the third of what the relationship can do for you. It's incredible. I using relationship. One day I had an example like this. I had a script. I have 122 line scripts reduced to 4 lines, just because all the craziness of the script, I transfer that in maybe, let's say, 5 or 6 relationships. So you see the benefits. So when you learn, when you know how to use, but also, and then we go. Also, what makes the relationship perform? What makes the relationship great? It's not just a relationship. No, it's a relationship using list of values and using tags, Boolean, 0, 1, using all those techniques. That makes the relationship powerful. If you remove the list of values, and if you remove if you remove the tags, the Boolean, you remove pretty much half of the power of the relationship. So, of course, if you don't know how to use Boolean and you don't know how to use list of values, you don't know how to use half of the relationship. We understand? So everything is linked together. It's not, FileMaker is not that, I know all about relationship. No. You know all about relationship if you know all about transfer of fund set. You don't know if you know all about Boolean. If you know all about the list of value. If you know all of those, then you know all about the relationship. You understand? It's not. It's a combination of many knowledge that you need to combine together, and then you get all the big thing, right? That's it. Ready to go back to the main bridge.
Yep. Thank you, Nick. We appreciate it.
Captain Carlton. No, Ensign.
Carlton, yes. No, the other Captain Carlton is not here.
Yeah, right now. Captain is Admiral Richard Carlton.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir.